I'm an ex-Christian looking back at bad arguments I found in Lee Strobel's The Case for Faith. This quote is from the first interview with Peter Kreeft. Kreeft starts the conversation by saying it's intellectually arrogant and unreasonable to believe that God doesn't exist. That's not a great start. Using loaded language like calling people arrogant can feel convincing but adds nothing of substance to his argument. Looking past that, his reasoning is, David Hume was a famous skeptic. Hume thought it's possible God exists. Therefore, it's possible a loving God exists. To me, this was a really weak argument. Hume couldn't speak for all skeptics of his day, much less people living 250 years later. There's no consensus among philosophers or skeptics about God's existence, so picking Hume and asserting that any position further than his is unreasonable seems completely arbitrary. The same argument could be used to support any position. For example, I could reverse the argument and find an agnostic biblical scholar who admits it's possible there's no God, and then claim that it's intellectually arrogant to know for certain that there is a God. That's just not a strong argument. Also, when I searched for more information about David Hume, I wasn't able to find any source for him saying it was just barely possible that God exists, or even that he was definitely an agnostic. His exact beliefs about God seem to be a subject of debate. No source is cited, so I'm not sure where Kreeft is getting this from. Even if that quote was accurate, though, it still wouldn't mean that Hume necessarily thought that a loving God was possible. The conclusion here doesn't follow logically. When I first read this as a Christian, I remember feeling kind of uncomfortable. I agreed that it was possible that a loving God existed, tolerating evil in pursuit of a greater good, but I was surprised by the weak argument and disparaging language. This was supposed to be a book about a rational pursuit of evidence, after all, so it seemed out of place to me. What do you think about this argument?